Hello, what's up everyone? Welcome back to another stream. Well, today we're going to be exploring the internet, so yeah. Let's see. First, let's go to, just search up this, shit. I wasn't searching. Okay, let's see. There we go. We're gonna look at some memes, that dink memes. Obviously, this is one of the dinkest memes because it has Spubman, but we won't talk about that. I got a message. I'm gonna answer that message, hopefully. I'm the crappiest live streamer ever, so don't worry about that. Secondary meme, we got, I'm not gonna lie, kid, there was never any candy. Screw this. It's fanfic.net, tend to read fanfiction. Fanfic.net, there we go. Crap. Work. Oh, there we go. Let's see. What do we have? Anime, manga. Oh god. Oh god. What do I want to read? Let's see. What do we have? I know what I want to read now, but I do not see it. Okay, here's one. Let's check out the ReZero fanfiction. Let's see. What's the one with the most? Naruto? Okay, let's check out Naruto. But crap. Is there anything good on this? This is not a fanfiction. Okay, let's see. Anime, manga. Just gonna do that. Let's see. I don't know. Let's try One Punch Man. I don't care. Let's see. Nothing interesting. I would like to read a fan fiction, please. Give me good. Give me all the good. Right now. Ooh, here we go. The good. Which one is it? Ooh. Hey. You can't find a good fanfiction. Romance. Give me the romance. Is there Spiderman? Crap. Spiderman. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Hmm. You see, I'd like exclude crosshairs, relevance. Let's see it. Search. Mm-hmm. What is this? Spider-Man X Deadpool fanfic. Yes, it's crap, I know. But it does not matter. Oh man. Oh man. Ooh. What's this? I feel like this is good. But, you piece of shit. Peter Parker, also known as Spider-Man, knows Winston Wilson. I can't highlight stuff. Also known as Deadpool, is dangerous. He knows that he's a murderer. Knows that taking a life means nothing to Wade. Knows that the only reason the Burke doesn't kill in his city is because Spider-Man, asked him not to. That sounds like a perfectly logical reasoning to not killing people. Also, he's not a murderer. He takes your money and then he murders the person. He's an assassin. Anyway, let's see. He knows the types of jobs Wade takes, and he knows exactly. See, they say jobs, but then they say he's a murderer. He's not technically a murderer if he's doing it for money. He knows the types of jobs Wade takes, and he knows exactly what he does on them. None of it is hidden from him, and they've never... Wait, crap. They've had the same arguments about these exact same topics over and over throughout the years. Wade has never been embarrassed. What? What sentence is this? What is this? Wade has never been embarrassed about what he does, and he's never shied away from letting Peter know exactly what he was getting into with their friendship. What? Now I'm just confused. Let's continue. Wait. Fuck. So none of this information is new, but Wade doesn't bring what he does and who he is when he's doing those things back to New York. Great. 10 out of 10 grammar would read again. He's never the dangerous psychopath around Peter. He's not cold like the rumors Peter hears them say he is. He's not cruel or gleeful. Reading about murder like the other supers tell him. Wade just isn't like that with Peter. They've been friends, best friends, for longer than Peter's been Spider-Man by now. How exactly? What? What is this? Is this a story? He thought maybe that everyone might be exaggerating just a little bit. Not intentionally, but Wade pisses enough people off that it wouldn't surprise him if the people who hired him beefed up his reputation a bit. If for no other reason than because they were embarrassed, ? He doesn't really know what he was thinking, other than that the Deadpool Peter had always known hadn't ever been anything like the Deadpool whispered about when they found out Wade was his friend. Don't mind that. And yeah, maybe it was and yeah, maybe it made the other supers look at him warily when Peter confirmed that yes, he is very much Wade's friend as well. No, it's not because he has to be. This story sounds pretty great so far. I need to check message. Check. Let me open phone. Don't reject me. Oh, shit. Oh, it's just an email. But why in the world? Jesus Christ. And maybe some of his rogues gallery always decide that they don't want to fight Spider-Man the days Deadpool teams up with him. Crap, I can't read, I'm tired. But those were all such small things, little things buried under Taco Tuesday. A large, strong arm over his shoulder, companionably? That's not a word. Companionably. That is the crappiest word I've ever heard. A smacked hand. What is this? A smacked hand going down to his ass. When he thought Peter wasn't looking. Video game marathons and introducing Wade to the horrid delight that it was Lust Plays. It had never made any sense. Because why would a world-class mercenary, the world's best mercenary, if all things whispered, when no one thinks he's paying attention behind his back, or true, wants anything to do with Spider-Man? Yeah, he was a hero, sure, but he wasn't one of the big heroes. He mainly protected New York from petty crime, and only helped out in the big battles when the others had no choice but to call him. Most of the other supers didn't even like him, and even the ones who did thought he was flippant for superheroing. That was not a sentence. Too unprofessional, too young. Never mind that he's been doing this since he was 16, lower than even Stoner Tarks. Yes. Been Iron Man. It doesn't matter to them when he looks so young. Isn't he like in his 20s, man? Like, how? And the worst has to deal with his love. Oh, wait. I'll continue reading that in a second, but since he was 16 here, and if you're going by Homecoming continuity, he was like 15. Like, how? Like, I can understand 16. It is like a decent age to become a hero, but 14, 15, like, no, no, you can't do that. I'm gonna close this real quick. Okay, first I gotta take a drink of water real quick. And then I'll continue with the story, you know? This fan fiction. It's a great fan fiction, gotta admit. Just kidding, that's crap. But we don't talk about that because this isn't the channel to talk about that. I have another channel, I have 2 other channels, you know, where I talk about lots of stuff. This is my fan fiction channel now. I'm gonna read only fan fiction from now on. Anyway, the worst he has to deal with is the low-level supervillains that couldn't make it in the big leagues, in Venom, in Carnage. But less said about those two, the better. Even though Carnage fused with Thanos. Whatever. So anything the others told him was always met with vague feeling that they just didn't know Wade the way he did. Didn't understand the sharp but ultimately kind man under all his issues. Because that was one thing Peter knew the others never exaggerated. Wade had other issues, big horrible issues, but that was kind of a requirement to get into the super community at this point. You wouldn't be able to point to one super, be the villain, what? You wouldn't be able to point to one super, be they villain, hero, or somewhere in between, and say with certainty that they were completely emotionally stable. What is this? This is like the worst fanfiction I've ever read in my life. It just wasn't true. I'm having intestinal gestation. I don't think that was actually a thing, but you had to be a special type of person to put on a suit or a mask and try to change the world for good or evil. They were all messed up in some way. Deadpool just didn't make any type of excuse for it. He was what he was. And if Peter didn't realize it, the way one person had potentially told Peter at some time, naive, she had sneered at him, naive and optimistic, you're going to get yourself killed, mate. And then he at least accepted it. And that was more than Peter could say for most of the people they knew. I don't know. Should I do this? Yeah, I'm just gonna hold the microphone. Don't worry about this. Give me a second. Give me a second. Okay, screw it. I'm screwing it back in. It's taking too long. Jesus Christ. Okay, there you go. Let's see. You want to get yourself killed. Then he at least accepted it. And that was more than Peter could say for the most of the people that they knew. What? And that was more than Peter could say for most of the people they knew. The Peter. What? The Peter. Boy. The Peter. Nice. Ooh. USB. Ooh. Ooh. How do I pause? Pause. Let's see. Just gonna check my channel real quick, you know? I'll go to my YouTube channel. Let's see. I'll go to my YouTube channel. Let's see. Let's see. I'll go to my Let's see. Audio input capture is fixed. Definitely. Okay. Let's continue. Where the fuck was I? Damn, this grammar's really coming off on me. The sad truth was that most supers killed, even when they didn't want to, didn't mean to. Fuck. These aren't fucking screwing up, man. I don't know what the fuck's going on. But this shit is bullshit. Every time I try and do shit. The sad truth didn't mean to. It was just something you had to accept, or it would destroy you. Even heed. The fuck kind of sentence is this shit? Even he'd killed people in his career. It was never intentionally, never something he did knowingly or willingly, but it happened. Like the Green Goblin. It was horrible, and it kept him up more nights than not when he consciously remembered that shit. Flashes of faces how long is this? Okay, not that long. Flashes of faces he had loved but failed. Eyes looking out to him for help, but he wasn't quick enough to react. Terror some of the thugs he'd fought had on their faces as they realized how very inhumanly strong he was. All of it haunted him. Beat their asses. He may have denied that at one point when he first became Spiderman, but he'd been through so much. God, my reading. So many people met even more who weren't good in the traditional sense, but who tried so damn hard not to be bad. That thinking in only black and white just wouldn't work. He still had faith in people. He knew he'd never been shit. He knew he'd never be able to kill with the righteousness that Iron Man and Captain America seemed to project. then turn around and act like they were better than people like Deadpool. They are better than Deadpool. Do you not realize that they're better than Deadpool? Not in character sense, but I mean, I like Deadpool. Well, if you think about it, you have one person who is a super soldier, a mutant, kind of, I guess, and a man that is extremely intelligent. Deadpool can break the fourth wall. Captain America has a physics non-obeying shield. And Iron Man has, well, Iron Man is Iron Man. But when you think about it, they're supposed to be superheroes. But Deadpool's an anti-hero. So, yeah. They're technically better, but it just kind of goes up to the person who is reading the comics or watching the movies to decide which is better in the first place. Anyway, he just didn't have it in him anymore to be such a hypocrite. But to get back to what he was saying before getting distracted on being what made a hero, he knows that Wade is dangerous. Know that that's supposed to be a nose. Knows that people think of him more of an anti. I hate these freaking like phrases where it's like anti and what was it, supers? Like what the crap? Anti-hero then as a hero. But he'd never seen Deadpool the way others do. I've never seen the Merc with the mouth work as the Merc with the mouth. So seeing Wade here, wait, so he doesn't even know what he does. Like, he's never seen what he actually does, though. So, how is he making a point? Well, you know what, whatever. So seeing Wade here right now, seething quietly in the corner of his cell, is disturbing. Wade doesn't not talk. He doesn't stay still somewhere quietly no matter what's happening. Oh, Peter's seen the man mock a goddamn Hydra scientist while all his students wiggled around him on the ground. The idiot doesn't know the meaning of shut the hell up. But apparently he does, because the silence is much more ominous than any type of threat Peter's ever heard Wade make. And Peter's heard a lot of very annoyed creative insults through the years. What sort of time do you call this? His voice comes out shredded, and Peter has to resist the urge to swallow reflexively, because he knows all that will do is irritate his already fucking throat. He doesn't even twitch from a scratchy question. His eyes, or at least what Peter assumes are his eyes, since Wade's not moving his head, are still scanning the horror that is his body stretch out, languided on the table. The lab table specific. Peter takes a deep breath and tries to say his name, get him to respond, but nothing's happening. His voice won't come out. And that's when it really hits him. How very fucked up he is if Wade's gone into another one of his catatonic states with his boxes. He can't talk Wade out of it like this. Now with the way his voice won't work and the way he's chained down, he won't even be able to go towards him. Boy, what's happening? I do not know. It is a fan fiction. It does not have to make sense, apparently. Peter tries to jingle his wrists, tries to slip out of them, or hell, even break them in a way he hasn't for days now. Not since they decided to see how far his healing went. When skinned. The rattles of the vibranium chains. Oh, that's why he can't get out, because fucking vibranium. Fucking loophole right there. Fucking plot device, I mean. The rattles of the vibranium chains draws Deadpool's attention. The way Peter's voice, as weak as it hadn't been able to. The man seems to tense even more. But he does start moving, which is all Peter can ask for at the moment. He won't be able to get out of this alone. He's too tired to be Spiderman unless he has to be. Deadpool's hands, when he touches Peter, dangerous are considerate. In a way, Peter knows he only acts around him. They trail around the scars of where the skin had been peeled and then healed with Peter's own regenerating power, but didn't quite met as smoothly where his real skin is. Soon Wade's questing fingers are swollen joints of his shoulder, purple from being popped in and out of place over and over, down to his neck, which Peter holds a scar across his neck, going down his chest, and crisscrossing on either side of his ribs. He knows that Deadpool knows what these scars mean. What is this? Get out here, I don't like you. Knows that they had to have cut him open at one point, peeling back muscle and fat to get rid of the bones and organs underneath. Peter can't read Deadpool's expression through his mask, a rarity after being friends for so long. But he's so gentle. When that single hand cups his bruised cheek, he knows he's safe. Fuck it, I don't care if it's even right at this point. When those strong arms rip the chains from the wall, all without moving Peter an inch, knows he is the safest person in the world when Deadpool listens like he's delicate. What even is this precious thing and just breathes into his hair, even covered the entirety of the Hydra base's blood? Peter knows it's safe. Because yes, Peter Parker, Spider-Man, knows Deadpool is dangerous. Knows it fully in all its truth from watching on the monitors in front of the dissection table as Wade had single-handedly slaughtered his way through the base. That Winston Wilson is dangerous. So much more dangerous than Peter had ever realized. Knows that if the other supers were right in this, they were probably right on everything else they had said about Wade behind his back. Peter understands that. Oh god, no. Oh man, I read that. That's bad. But he also knows something the others don't. Is there more of this? I don't think there's more of this. I'll finish in a second, but is there more of this? Oh god. There's a second chapter. Okay, I'll read that, but Peter can't. Oh shit. The others don't, something they'll probably never realize while they judge Wade on who he is and what he does. Peter knows that Wade will never be just Deadpool to him. Yeah. Jesus Christ. He would never only be that psycho killer that everyone tried so hard to warn Peter about in the beginning. Hey, baby boy. Wade's voice is soft. Oh shit, I gotta read it soft. Hey, baby boy. As he carries Peter out the room he's been in since he was ambushed. Sorry it took so long. The traffic was terrible. Fuck. You would not believe it. Believe how many cars I had to check just to find the right one. But his eyes, when he had taken... Shut up, Penguin Zeros. Critical. But his eyes, and when he had taken off the mask anyways, never released Peter's face. Their intensity, if he had known Wade's over it, would be intimidating. Peter can't help but laugh. A raspy, bloody sound that had Wade's eyes turning into pretty blue eyes and snarl tugging at his lip. Oh, no, making me laugh. Laugh at Doctor Who references things. He can't help it. Of course, Wade would know what he was talking about, even when he's so far down in his madness. Induced fury that they're stepping on over the corpses of men who's decided it was time to experiment on Spidey. Sorry, honey bun, no can do. Gotta make sure those pretty doe eyes of yours stay open. Who knows what might happen if I don't fire back on your witty remarks. We could even lose our comic. We could lose each other, Spidey babe. And believe you, me, you do not want... You, me. Fucking great. You not want to see what I turn into with my very own arachnid boy. Wade's voice lifted even higher in a venom-filled sing-song tone, one Peter normally only heard when Carnage tried to take a bite out of him, when Clint stole the last piece of pizza on the Avengers fridge. No one does. Yes, Peter thinks as he passes out, Wade's roar terror in the backdrop, an annoying but comforting sound. Deadpool made be just as dangerous as everyone had always told him, but they'd never been dangerous to Peter. He'd never been. They'd work on the rest of it later. Shit. It's fucking long. How long is the stream? 30 minutes? Okay, I guess I have to read it. Hold up, let me check my messages and then drink some water and I'll, read the rest of this shitty ass fucking fanfiction, God damn it, phone. Open. Fuck yeah. Piece of shit. What's this? Okay. Wait. Let's do that. And I'm almost done. What is this? That is Messenger. I'll use that later. Anyway, I'm gonna take a drink of water. Hope my microphone doesn't disconnect. Oh man. Oh wait. I forgot to read the freaking description. Peter understands Wade is dangerous. He gets it, alright. Wade kills people, not around Spider-Man. He does it for the money. And he doesn't care what people think about it. But Peter tries to not be a hypocrite. And yeah, well, he knows Wade could probably kill him, Spidey sense or not. If he wanted to, he wouldn't. And that's really all Peter needs right now. Okay, let's read. When Peter first meets Deadpool, he's practically ancient by superhero standards. He was one of the first heroes at the scene when the villains seemed to pop up all at once. It's years before Tony Stark gets lost in Afghanistan, years before Captain America gets found and unfrozen, years before S.H.I.E.L.D. becomes mainstream knowledge, years before Banner becomes the Hulk, and years before he knows he's not alone. He's a 14-year-old kid who's bitten by a radioactive spider, fails to save a man who'd been more father to him than his original one had ever gotten to be, ends up having to fight his best friend turned supervillain and watches the love of his life die falling from a tower. He's just a kid, and by the time the other supers catch up, he's been Spider-Man for close to 7 years. He's one of the youngest, even with all his experience with the larger names. Which is something he can admit he is. People know him, trust him, because he is one of the most visible, most human heroes they have. It's hard to think of a guy as anything but that, no matter what powers he has and when the people that bit the shit fuck, and when they basically seen him grow up in the suit. Spider-Man is a hero of the people more than almost anyone else. His presence is practically as much as a tourist trap as the Statue of Liberty is now. His favorite piece of merch is the I came all the way to New York and all I saw was a crappy Spider-Man fight t-shirt. He has 10 of them, and all in different sizes and colors because they're amazing and he loves them. How much longer is this? It's so long. But even though he's not one of the youngest in years... Oh, wait, shut up. But even though he's one of the youngest in years, the other supers all get their tragic backstories done and over. With their late 20s, early 30s, he's one of the oldest in terms of sheer time he's spent in the suit compared to the most in the community. Spider-Man has fought most of the world's villains at least once before they mostly moved onto their own personal heroes to beef with. It's how he comes to know such interesting people and why he has such great friends. When you've worked as long as he has, been in a mask for what feels like longer than you've been out of it, it's hard to not make friends with people you shouldn't. It's how he met Deadpool. He hadn't even really heard about the merc to begin with. It had started when he'd been told about by civilians he saved from purse snatching in the Ike, and how there was a discount Spidey running around. It had been hilarious for Peter in the beginning. He assumed it was some young mutant that wanted to take on a similar name as him. Maybe in homage, maybe to mock him, because in New York could go either way. And that's what Peter loved about his city. But he thought it was harmless. Another new super keeping the training wheels of a already confirmed hero on until they got enough until they got enough confidence to go their own way. He could keep an eye out for them. Try to see if they needed any help, and he wouldn't interfere if they didn't want him to. Then the bodies started to show up to that fucking cunt. Then the bodies started to show up, and Peter realizes that whatever this was, it wasn't a new hero earning their wings. Is it fucking done? God damn. How much longer do I have to read this shitty ass fucking... It's been 5 minutes? Are you kidding me? God fucking damning cunt. Fuck. Whatever. Deadpool has been nothing like he expected when Peter had finally tracked the merc down. Deadpool has been nothing. Okay. He was friendly when he wasn't trying to shoot his target. Seemed genuinely upset when Peter hadn't been able to dodge a slice of his katana fast enough. Lyrics in a way Peter had never met someone other than himself to be fucked up to the extreme. In his head, and after an intense daily game of keep away with Deadpool's mark as the ball throughout the city, completely willing to compromise when he wanted to, Deadpool, Wade actually was his name, but hey, you can call me Daddy, baby boy. Who gives their real name when first meeting someone? Peter sure as hell wasn't reciprocating that strange mark of trust anytime soon. Agreed to no more contracts in Spider-Man City. They'd had talks after that, sitting on the rooftop of some ridiculously tall building and making each other laugh so hard at awful puns that Wade had almost fallen off the tower. It had been the first night of truly awful for everyone else's friendship. Months went by and Tony Stark came back from Afghanistan as Iron Man. More supers hit the map, seemingly everywhere with their own personalized one out there either trailing after them or sprinting on ahead. When forming the community of heroes found out Spider-Man had both befriended Deadpool. Fucking shit, I'm tired. Give me a second. Whew. Where was I? Befriended Deadpool and somehow convinced the insane mercenary to stay out of New York when taking jobs. It had gone over about as well as a bathtub full of cats when the water turned on, which is to say not at all. What if they're good cats? First, they demanded that Spider-Man stop socializing with Deadpool, when all that got in them was a snort and a wave while he slunk away. They tried other tactics. They tried to press on his age, on how he was being childish with his naive wish for Deadpool to change, on how that just wasn't how the world worked. That bad guys. They didn't just change into good guys because we want them to. Honestly though, what is this story? I'm so fucking confused. I have no idea what's going on. I came onto this live stream, looking for a good time, some of that good stuff, some of that webcam cam girls, you cam girls. But no, all I got was this shit, whatever the fuck this bullshit is, and it's been like 38 minutes. It's fucking stupid. I want some of that good shit, some of that cam girl shit, Anyway, that's done for. They tried to press on his age and how he is being because we want them to. That conversation had gone over almost as well as the news about Deadpool and Spider-Man's friendship. Peter had been pissed, never mind that he had been here longer than any of them, but that they'd had nerve to condescend down at him like he wasn't an adult, like he hadn't been saving the world long before the Avengers even had their entire team together. Even so mad, in fact, that he wept the two that had tried to corner him in the library and left them there for 2 days before telling anyone they were there, that they were at, where they were at. Shit. His webbing doesn't last for 2 days. I'm sorry to tell you, but it lasts like 2 hours. So yeah. No. When he told Wade that story over at dinner, so what, it's 4 a.m., who the fuck cares, Wade? I swear to God, you better give me my damn burger back, or they will never find your dick when I chop it off, and shut up, I know you can grow it back. That's not the point. The man had ended up choking on his milkshake so hard he fallen backwards out of the chair he'd been trying to balance. He also had something like on his eyes, or something very similar looking on his impossibly emotive mask. Peter hadn't wanted to look so deeply on... What? Peter hadn't wanted to look too deeply on why such a look made... Oh. Fuck, I'm stupid. Made him want to squirm in a seat just from being under it. They hadn't talked about it again, but sometimes Wade would get the same look in his eyes when he watched Peter go head to head with the entirety of the Avengers. Peter had learned it was better to be assertive with the other supers, or they would end up trying to look feckin' shit. Trying to live your life for you, and Peter didn't abandon people just because it might be convenient. Whew. That was also around the same time Wade had started to treat him differently. Haha. We getting on to the sexy parts? No, I'm just kidding. I don't know what the hell's going on. I lost it after the first sentence, man. First fucking sentence, man. I don't even know what I'm reading. I'm not digesting data. Fuck that shit. I ain't gonna remember this. Anyway. The third time it happened was completely unprofessional. It pissed Deadpool off almost as much as it pissed Spider-Man off. It had been a normal Wednesday night, and Spider-Man had been friends with Deadpool for close to 2 years. The other supers had mainly stopped trying to get him to stop associating with Wade, but the attempts that did still happen had been slowing down the longer Peter ignored them. He had an indistinct wish that maybe they'd all finally given up and left him alone. That thought had been quickly tossed out when the Green Goblin had shown up, flying by on his hoverboard. What was his life? Where there was a sentence that he could say and actually mean it, and trying to terrorize the civilization population below. Peter shot a web out at the goblin, grabbing onto the back, and being flung after him. Good fucking job. Deadpool whooped excitedly. Whooped? Okay. Excitedly behind him, and Peter knew he'd catch up at some point. He'd be heartbroken not to fight one of Spider-Man's original baddies, as Wade called the Green Goblin, with him. Everything had been going normally at first. Deadpool had cut up sometime during the fight, rubber blood smacking onto Goblin's head every time he almost cornered Spider-Man. And the banter they had going completely ignored the increasingly annoyed Goblin was beautiful in his ability to confuse everyone but each other. Well, that's when it had all gone to hell. Iron Man and the Hulk still as Bruce Banner. They ended behind Peter, drawing his attention because what the hell? Who just goes into another's blind spot like that? The Goblin, has seen his chance to finally be rid of his arch nemesis once and for all. The Goblin had stuck a pumpkin bomb straight on Peter's face, like the mother of dicks he was, and cut Spider-Man's webs from his board. He shot off after that, and Peter, too concerned with the bomb in his face to care about the Goblin getting away. Peter knew how long he had until it went off, knew that he had to make a choice between keeping his identity a secret and dying horribly in a fire because his well-friend decided to be a Halloween-themed villain with stupid pumpkin-shaped bombs. Iron Man had been yelling at him to take off his mask. Brew. What? Brew. It's fucking Brew Banner. Brew Banner, the Hulk. Oh, no, wait, not the Hulk. The Mighty Bulk. Fucking Bulk, man. Brew had been trying to calm him down. Peter himself had been close to panic attack because of the people who could know his identity. Tony Stark would be the last one he'd want told. When Deadpool had come sweeping down in nowhere to jerk both their masks off, transferring his over Peter's head before anyone, including us, had time to see more than longish brown hair. He then threw the bomb mask at Iron Man, who disarmed it, stalking up to them. And the main way he hadn't done that when it was still been on his fucking face. What? Peter had been too shaken at almost unmasking that he didn't had to realize until Wade said it that Tony could have disarmed the bomb instead of demanding he take his mask off. Wade had been furious. Tony had been defensive when it came out why Iron Man had decided to come help Spider-Man and Green Goblin. They had both been speechless. Apparently Deadpool didn't count as backup against a villain Spider-Man had fought alone for years. Peter ended up having to drag Wade away using his whole strength when the Merc had tried to stab Tony. Not before he crushed the Iron Man helmet barehandedly and told Tony very simply that he could take care of himself, that he ever needed more backup, he would call him. Do not come before that, Tony, or I swear to God, I will make you will not like the end results. If I need help, I'll call you. You know, fuck this shit. I'm fucking exhausted as hell. How do people do this for a fucking living? This shit's fucking stupid. It's been almost fucking 50 minutes, man. Like, we're getting a personal friend or relationship after that, taking a nosedive. Not that Peter had cared at that point. The very last time it happens is when the Avengers as a whole gave him an ultimatum: either stop talking to Deadpool or give up on his hero title. And that was, it's ridiculous. It's what it is. Tony got his arms crossed over his chest, the picture of fatherly disapproval, while the others anyway, you can't see Thor Clint's here, so they do still have friends in the Avengers, which is nice to know. Okay. Stand behind him awkwardly. Peter honestly thinks it's a joke at first. They can't be serious. He can't actually think that Peter needs the Avengers' permission to be a hero. But the look in Tony face, nice. And the iron in Steve's eyes are completely genuine. They definitely mean it. Sometimes it amazes Peter on how willfully blind humans can be. It's honestly insane that these two think they have any type of say in his life. If Peter hadn't been prepared to do things he wasn't supposed to do, he would never get any deal putting on a full spandex suit and try to help people. Peter's Spider-Man. Peter is who Spider-Man will always be. So Peter doesn't need their permission to do what he does. Spider-Man doesn't need, sure as hell doesn't. I read that almost perfectly. I continued with that entire freaking sentence perfectly. Oh, those multiple sentences, that paragraph, whatever the hell this is. But whatever, just stands out. I don't really know. So he laughs right in their faces. He laughs so hard he can feel tears in the corner of his eyes soaking into his mask. It's just the nerve of these people, the sheer hypocrisy that Peter's sure they can't see. This is exactly why most of his friends and acquaintances were all more than anti than hero. It's hilarious. The reason this is the last time they all tried to convince Peter about stop seeing Wade is because the moment that fucking shit. The moment stop seeing Wade is because the moment the silence drags on slightly longer than they're all uncomfortable with, and Tony starts to get that look in his eyes like he's won. Peter Spider-Man drops down from the ceiling and starts rummaging around to drop whatever he has on him with a Stark logo at their feet. As the others look with apprehension, Tony face. Every time it's Tony face. Why Tony face? Tony's face says he knows exactly where this is going, so it's to everyone's surprise but his when Peter takes the headset Tony had given him at some point and crushes it under his heel before silently slinging away. His answer is loud and clear in the silence that follows his exit. So Peter learned to not to ask. It's later that same night when Wade appears silently behind it. Peter doesn't react because sometimes Wade will come and see him and just stare. He won't say a word to Peter, just talk to his boxes about whatever's going on in that play deck in his head. Play deck of a head of his. Fuck. Peter knows better than to try and address him when he's like this. Knows that somehow the sight of Peter is enough to quiet some of the voices more some of the voices more violent impulses in his head. Perfect fucking sentence, perfect fucking grammar. I tell you. Wade's hugs are always warm. His body's so big that whenever the man wants to, he can pick up Peter and just cradle him for how long he needs to reaffirm that Peter is alive, that he's not a hallucination, that Wade can just be Wade when they're together. But this hug feels different from the other ones Wade's given before. It's the same tight hold he has when he's not sure what's real or what's not, but the hands in his hair is new. Something inside him curled. Wade ducks under Barry's face and Peter's neck. He's shaking just a little bit, and Peter doesn't know what to do when it hits him. Wade has been planning to pick him up from the Avengers Tower that night, but if he got in there after Peter had already left, he'd want to know what happened. And the Avengers had told him what had happened, probably to try and get help from his side. Then Wade would know about the ultimatum and Peter's answers to it. It really is bad for them that Wade was a possessive person into the few things he liked in the world. To the few things, okay. Deadpool was surprisingly loyal as a mercenary for hire, but it was common knowledge that when he gave his heart, gave his loyalty, he gave everything. He was just enough of a dick to understand the intent behind the Avengers telling Wade what happened, and find the humor in how ironic it is that they happened to talk to the one man who would never help with this, who wouldn't try and make Peter's decisions for him. It's horrifyingly funny that a man who kills others for a living understands Peter's autonomy better than heroes who are supposed to be all about what's right. It's not perfect. They're not perfect. They still fight about Wade's job. They fight about Wade spending money on Peter, Peter going out and fighting Carnage alone, about Peter ignoring the larger hero community whenever they did something he didn't like. But all in all, they're good. They fucking mess up the last sentence immediately. The rest they could work on. The fucking end. The fucking end. God fucking damn it. I'm gonna leave a fucking review. Ace, and you know what? No, I'm not gonna put Ace on Spiderman. Spider-Mab. I don't like what you did to my character. There we go, just gonna no. Shit. Oh man. Pulse review. There we go. Perfect. What makes a hero? And let's start at the beginning. This shit done. I'm fucking done with this. This shit was fucking stupid. I don't know what the fuck was going on. Some gay love story between Deadpool and Spiderman. Although, I don't know if it was a gay relationship or if it was just a really, really close friendship. And I hope the audio for this is fine. Because this microphone just keeps on disconnecting. It just keeps on disconnecting. I don't know why. I just want you to last until the end of the freaking live stream video thing. Okay. Well, I'm done for today's Explore the Internet. I read exactly 2 chapters of a fanfiction. I did not know it would take this long to read a fanfiction. I did not know it would take an hour to read a fanfiction in the first place. But anyway, I hope you guys liked it. This is the first version of podcast on my channel. Podcast named Exploring the Internet with ASI. I genuinely hope you enjoyed this, because this shit was hard to fucking read. I cannot read for shit. I'm not a good reader in the first place. Not because I suck at reading, but because I can't pronounce stuff out loud. I can pronounce in my head perfectly fine, but I can't read out loud. Anyway, I do hope you guys love this video, like this video, whatever the fuck you want to do to this video. And, you know, leave a like on the video, comment on the video if you want to, because I'm a fucking dick. I want your comments. Give me your comments now, bitch. Share the video with your friends, please. I need views. I want AdSense, please. I don't even want AdSense. Like, I don't want the money from AdSense. I just want an AdSense account, and I can't have an account with 4,000 views monthly, or not monthly, in the last 12 months. So if you really could just like watch my video in the back, or like a 1 hour video in the background for like 4 days, that would give me 4,000 views. Or like, yeah, like not like 4,000 views, but like 4,000 minutes, because I need 4,000 minutes of views. Like, I'll need actual people to watch the videos. I just need them to like watch the videos in full. I need 4,000 hours of views, I think is what it is. Monthly, 12 months and 12 months. So that means that I need someone to watch my video, like a 1 hour video, for exactly 4 days straight. So that's good. That sounds fine. That sounds doable, you know. Yeah. It sounds very doable if you think about it. Ooh. Anyway, I'm gonna be taking my leave. Hope you guys have a good night, good day, good afternoon, good fuck. Anyway, goodbye.